Okay, so my name is Irene. I'm from Italy, and I'm one of your ambassadors for this experience. I've been part with Axe Culture for 2 years. So I started in 2017 as a student. Then I became a coach, and currently I'm a head coach and an ambassador. So if you have any questions about previous experiences at Symposium or other international meetings, I will be here to help you. So for today, I thought about briefly presenting your team. So I know that most of you are from Team 23, and then we have Roberto from Team 17. And I just wanted to ask you something about your experience so far. So if you have some issues, if you have some questions or curiosities, then we're going to address the situation about the team charter, because you were supposed to build up a team charter, so the team logo, team name, and the team roles. Then we have like 10 minutes for the questions about the document provided by the challenge company. And we're going to address also some questions or suggestions about the suggested schedule for your project. And finally, we're going to address some more issues or questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So first of all, we know that you're from Team 23, so we'll first talk to these team members. Are you okay with your project? How is your experience so far?
We haven't done too much yet. We're actually meeting later today. That's all. I think we're doing a Skype meeting or something like that. That's going to be the first meeting.
Okay.
So we haven't put together a team charter yet, but we're planning to do that today and discuss the challenge. So hopefully we should know more after that.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, that's no problem. I mean, there is no specific deadline for the team charter, but it's very important to do that so that you know your role and your expectations and duties for the team. And what about Roberto? So how is your team going?
Yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. We have a team charter already. We have a logo, slogan. It's in our shared folder, like a Google Drive.
Okay.
And yeah, we're ready to upload it in case if it's needed. Yeah.
So for what concerns uploading team charters, you can either add me to your shared folder. So I have my Gmail address, and I don't know if you have it, but actually I'm going to share it with you in a couple of minutes if you need it. Or you can add me to your WhatsApp group so that I'm always there, let's say, for you. And so if you have any direct questions, or if you want to submit the team charter directly using WhatsApp, there's no problem. And also Emily's from Team 23. So for what concerns the team situation, we're done, let's say. I was wondering if you had some issues regarding free writing, or if you had some team members not communicating a lot or doing something they were supposed to do, but not in a proper way.
We miss one team member, actually, the fifth one. We haven't heard from her yet.
Okay.
We emailed her, but no answer so far. I haven't found her in the Facebook group yet, so I don't know how to reach out to her.
Okay, so maybe if you would be so nice to share the email address to me so that I can check the situation and maybe try to contact her and see whether she's going to participate to the project or not.
Yeah, totally. That's no problem.
If you are able to, can you just share the email address in this chat, so the webinar chat, so that I can copy it and paste it in my email account?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, do it in 1 second.
Okay. And okay, you already told me about the team charter, and so we can move on to the challenge company document. Have you read the document provided by the team, by the company? Yes, I also read it, and I think it's very interesting and very well structured. I mean, it's very simple and synthetic, so I like the way they presented their, let's say, company and the objectives that they have and what they expect from you. So I saw that there is a specific section about the questions you're supposed to answer. So whenever preparing your project, I would suggest you to take these, let's say, main topics, develop them, and add something more to those so that you're specifically addressing what the company asked you to do. And I also saw that they put suggested schedule to follow, which is on page number 8. Did you see it? Yes, okay. Do you have any questions about the suggested schedule? Because during my past webinar, one student was asking me about the schedule in the sense that he told me they were not working on the company challenge yet, and they were a little bit stressed about the time schedule. I told him that there is no problem. It's up to you about the organization of the work and the distribution of workload too. So, for example, when I was in Miami, I had a group to work with, and we decided to work more on site rather than at home. Basically, because we had less communication problems. It was not a virtual communication, but it was like a personal one. So we had the time and all the, let's say, possibilities to work together in a better way on site rather than at home. So it's up to you. If you want to do something very brief or schematic when you're at home and then complete it in Calgary, there's no problem. It's up to you. The important thing is that you have everything prepared before the presentation and that you get ready to present in front of a real company. Is that the first time for you presenting in front of a real company executives, or?
For me, no. I mean, I do it in my job like daily, so that shouldn't be an issue.
How old are you?
27.
27. Okay. And
yeah, I feel a bit old in this group.
Okay. Don't feel old. I mean, you're never too old to learn new things and new people. So.
Thank you.
What about the others?
Yeah, I have presented in previous Macerata Symposium, so yeah, I have some experience.
Mm-hmm.
I've presented to a couple companies, not really any big companies, but for small local ones. Yeah.
Feel something, I think. Mm-hmm. What about Jeppe?
What?
I was asking Jeppe about his experience.
A couple of times, nothing too major. But yeah, I've tried it before. I'm relatively comfortable presenting, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Okay. Okay, and
just if I'm allowed, I have a question regarding the schedule. I mean, will we have time actually in Calgary to work on it, like to work on the challenge?
So the schedule specifically for Calgary is not ready yet, but if it's like all the other symposiums, you will have time to work on your team challenge. I mean, in Macerata, I think we had a couple of afternoons maybe, and time during evenings, and eventually on the week the day before the real presentation, and also. Ambassadors are going to be there, so if you have any issues or if you would like to present in front of us, since we have a couple of experiences in our background, we will be ready to help you with the things you need. Also, I was wondering if you know how to make the handout, or if you have any questions about the handout or the presentation, like in terms of organization, because the handout is 2 pages and you need to be careful about inserting the most important information about your proposal so that the challenge company is going to have everything on one sheet of paper, and eventually after your presentation they're going to remember about your presentation without any problem. I have some examples of handouts that I did in past experiences. I don't know if you would like to have a look at them just to have an idea of what it looks like.
Yeah, sure, Irene. Please, could you share the screen?
Okay, so I will share the one I made for Hard Rock International when I was in Miami with my group, of course. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe let me. So as you can see, it's 2 pages, and it has to be, let's say, very well structured from a design point of view. So it has to be attractive, let's say in terms of colors and information. It doesn't have to be too written in the sense that only most important information have to be put there, and eventually something that you don't say during the presentation. Also, we decided to give a little bit of empty space to allow the company executives to take notes or to, let's say, write down questions about our presentation so that they are more involved in the presentation itself. So this is one. This was very colorful, and from a design point of view was one of the best ones we did. This is another example. This is more technical. As you can see, so the layout is very different. Here we had to sum up 80 pages business proposal into 2 pages. That is why you have more information and you have more spaces dedicated to written information. So you have the SWOT analysis, competitive positioning in the market, selecting new market, and then eventually the strategies we applied for the 2 markets. Also, because for this presentation we had just 10 minutes, so it was very important for us to say the most important information during the oral presentation, but then the handout was supposed to have much more information than the oral one, so that the company executives could bring that with them. And this was about the company we worked for in Macerata. It was a winery company. Oops, sorry. Okay. So again, the structure is similar, and as you can see, the colors were tied to the company's one. So the dark red and eventually some shades of red, and all the information we needed. And that's it. I had just these three examples prepared, but if you need something more just to check or to see, I will be glad to share them with you. Any comments?
Yeah, it was pretty impressive, Irene. Actually, first one was the best one, I guess. Hard rock one.
Okay. And yeah, I was just having a look at the schedule. We talked about the handout. We talked about, so the presentation, you have 12 minutes plus 3 minutes for a Q&A. And something I usually do whenever I do a presentation is to forecast the questions. So eventually, when I present something, I don't say something on purpose so that I know what the other people are going to ask me about. I don't know if that makes sense actually. But usually whenever I don't talk about something, people are going to ask me about that something. So I'm very prepared to give a thorough answer. That is just a strategic way to handle questions. And yeah, that is pretty much what I wanted to share and talk with you. Do you have maybe any other questions or curiosities or anything you would like to talk about?
I do have a question regarding the presentation, especially. Especially in the documents, in the challenge one, there's a lot of room for accounting. I mean, like annual reports and stuff like that. So I was wondering if we should include that in our presentation, or if it should be more on the creative side, let's say?
So usually, based on the past experiences I had, you should have I think a 5 years financial plan for the company. Of course, you don't have to be financial analysts, so you just take like some financial data and you, I mean, to prove your thesis that your business proposal is actually going to add on the company's profits or add on the company's benefits. It depends on which side you would like to stress. So for instance, what we did last year was to take their financial report. We took some data and based on some financial analysis, we made it possible for us to prepare a financial report for the next year. Of course, this was possible because I have some background in financials, so I did that part. But basically, for example, if you don't have any team members very tight or an expert in financial, that's not a problem. I mean, you just need to take the main data and make the company see that you have an increase in profit or an increase in benefits. I could ask for more details about this because I saw that they put the balance sheet and the financial statements, but they are not making any specific requirements about a financial plan for upcoming years. So if you would like to, I can ask the company about that. So if they are asking you also to provide a financial plan, and if that is the case, how many years you have to consider, such as 1 year financial plan or 5 years financial plan, and eventually I will let you know.
That would be great. Thank you.
And also, I think that was just one of the few companies that provided us with financial reports, because sometimes companies are very reluctant in providing financial data, and that was, I think, very important for students. I mean, if you are not doing the financial plan, that's fine, but for those who are willing to provide financial insights, that is very important, I think. Any other question? Okay, so if you don't have any other question, I think we could conclude our webinar here. First of all, I would like to thank you so much for joining me during my second webinar. I will be available for any type of questions, and if you have curiosities or some issues going on. And I typed down the email address of Beatrix. So Roberto will let you know about Beatrix and also regarding the financial plan.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much, and I wish you a pleasant weekend.
Yeah, thanks, Irene. Thanks, Jeppe. Thanks, Roberto. Thanks, Emily. Nice to see you. See you again. Just a question from my side to Roberto. Roberto, actually. I didn't get, where are you from, Roberto?
Originally, I'm from Italy, but I lived in the US for a couple of years, and now I'm located in Switzerland, actually.
Okay, nice, nice, great. Actually, my brother is in Switzerland. Anyways, yeah, I'm from India. My name is Piyush. Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And yeah, have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye, everyone.
Ciao.
Bye.
Have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you, you too.